Let's talk about something that I know can sound a little dry, a county budget. But stick with me here because we're going to decode what this financial plan really tells us about a community, and specifically about Nevada County's values.
You see, a budget isn't just a boring spreadsheet full of numbers, it's really a story. It shows you exactly what a community cares about, where it's putting its money, and the kind of future it's trying to build for everyone who calls this beautiful place home.
So, how big of a story are we talking about? Well, for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, it's a $415.5 million story. That's the total adopted budget for Nevada County. It's a huge operation that, believe me, touches every part of daily life here.
A number that big, it naturally makes you wonder, right? Where on earth does all that money come from? And maybe even more importantly, where is it all going? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, first things first, let's get the 30,000-foot view of the county's finances. Okay, so about that first question, where's the money from? Take a look at this, because the biggest slice of the pie might surprise you. Nearly half, we're talking 47.6%, comes from state and federal governments. Taxes are the next biggest piece. Now, this heavy reliance on outside funding is a really big deal. It means the county's financial health is directly tied to decisions made in Sacramento and DC.
And that's the perfect lead in to our next point, the bigger economic picture. Because, the county isn't operating in a vacuum. It's facing some pretty big challenges. Here's the thing. When the state's wallet gets tight, counties are the ones who feel the squeeze. With California facing a significant budget deficit, Nevada County is already getting ready for possible funding cuts to local services we all rely on. And you can see these economic headwinds right here at home. For example, sales tax revenue, which is basically a snapshot of how much we're all spending, has just flatlined. After a big jump during the pandemic, it's projected to stay put at $4.3 million. And it's not just sales tax. Here's the other side of the coin, property taxes. This is the biggest single source of money for the county's main operating fund, and its growth is slowing down too. The real estate market is cooling off, and that means tax growth has dipped to 4%, a whole point below the long-term average. So, with money getting tighter, how does the county stay stable?
Well, the answer is all about smart planning. And the most important tool in their toolbox is the general fund balance. The best way to think about it? It's the county's rainy day fund. It's the financial cushion they've saved up during the good times to get them through the tough times, like right now. And that rainy day fund is pretty healthy. We're talking a projected $43.8 million. This is the financial shield, the buffer, that lets the county navigate those economic headwinds we just talked about without having to suddenly slash essential services. It lets them keep investing in what matters. Okay, so they have the money and a plan for stability. But how does that actually translate into action? Where do they decide to focus all that effort and cash? It all boils down to these 8 key priorities set by the Board of Supervisors. Just look at this list. It covers the whole shebang: fiscal stability, emergency prep, economic development, housing, homelessness, everything. These aren't just suggestions, they are the actual roadmap for every single dollar spent. To really see how this works, let's drill down on just one of these. And it's a big one, especially for a rural, forested community like Nevada County: emergency preparedness. And you can probably guess what that really means. Yeah, wildfire. And here is why this is priority number 1. Look at this number, 92%. That's the percentage of Nevada County residents who live in a high fire severity zone. Let that sink in, 92%. The threat isn't just some abstract idea. It's right at the doorstep for almost everyone. So this is where the rubber meets the road. How does the budget actually fight this threat? Well, it's funding for real, on-the-ground work, things like clearing dangerous vegetation from roadsides so people can get out safely, offering places for homeowners to get rid of flammable yard waste, and pouring money into huge prevention projects like the Ponderosa West Grass Valley Defense Zone. This is what it looks like when a budget truly reflects a community's reality. Now, what's really cool about all this is that it's not some secret process happening in a locked room. It's actually designed to be a conversation. And your voice, it's a really important part of that. A lot of people think the budget is a once-a-year thing, but check this out. It's actually a year-round cycle. There's constant back and forth with different departments, community partners, and yes, the public. From workshops early in the year to the final adoption in June and reviews in the fall, there are chances to weigh in all the time. And getting involved is probably easier than you think.
There are some really direct ways to have your say. You could apply to serve on a county commission. You can just pick up the phone or send an email to your supervisor. Or if you really want to deep dive into how it all works, you can join the county's Citizens Academy. The point is, the doors are open.
All right, so let's pull it all together. What's the big takeaway from all this? What does it all mean for the future of Nevada County?
I think this quote from the county executive officer, Allison Lehman, really nails it. She said, "We've built this budget with input gathered directly from the public. It's not just some top-down document. It's a plan built from a community conversation designed to get through tough economic times while still focusing on what matters most to the people who live here." And that really brings us back to you. After seeing all this, the challenges, the priorities, the whole picture, what do you think should be the number one focus for Nevada County's future? The story of this community is still being written, and every single resident has a chance to help write the next chapter.